Today we're taking a closer look at Caribbean real estate, but maybe not in the way you usually think about it. Not just sun and sand, We're talking about strategy, investment, profit potential, and maybe even getting a second passport. Think about it if you're, say, an entrepreneur or someone who operates globally. You want stability, tax advantages, easier travel. That's the path we're exploring today.
Yeah, what's really interesting here is how these islands manage to blend a fantastic lifestyle with some serious financial upsides and strategic perks too. So our goal today is really to unpack the key things you need to consider if you're thinking about investing down there.
Okay, let's break this down then. Beautiful beaches aside, what really makes the Caribbean so attractive for real estate investment right now? What's the strategic thinking from these countries?
Well, there are, I'd say, 5 main reasons people are looking there. First, it's just a great relocation spot or a plan B. High living standards, lovely climate, feels safe. Second, and this is a big one, second, citizenship. It's huge for a lot of investors. By investing typically $200,000 or more in government-approved property in certain countries, you can actually get citizenship. That means visa-free travel to over 100 countries. Plus, some pretty significant tax optimization benefits.
Okay, tax optimization. You mean lower tax?
Exactly. Well, specifically no capital gains tax. So when you sell your property later for a profit, you keep more of it. That's a major draw. And it's not just that, it's how this policy, combined with the citizenship by investment, really positions these places for multi-generational wealth planning, especially with global tax rules always shifting. Third, just generally beneficial taxes.
Yeah.
We mentioned no capital gains, but also companies operating outside the Caribbean often pay zero tax on their global income. Fourth, there are really diverse investment opportunities. Tourism is booming, so think hotels, resorts, vacation rentals, lots of potential there. Plus, infrastructure development is pushing up property values, both commercial and residential. And finally, number 5, you've got decent rental yields and price growth, generally looking at maybe 3 to 5% a year for both. So you can often sell profitably after a few years.
Okay, that second citizenship point, the citizenship by investment or CBI, that sounds like the real golden ticket here for many. Which specific islands offer these programs? And, practically speaking, how does it work? Is it complicated?
Good question. You're mainly looking at 5 countries: Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, and Grenada. And the process itself is actually pretty streamlined. It's mostly done remotely. Usually takes about 6 months, sometimes a bit longer. It starts with thorough due diligence, basically. They run pretty rigorous background checks for security and compliance,
Makes sense.
Then prepping documents, more background checks at the national level, and then finally making your investment in a property that the government has approved, usually part of a hotel complex or maybe vacation homes. Once you get the green light, the passport itself can actually be issued quite quickly, maybe within a month or so. And importantly, you can usually sell that investment property after, say, 3 to 7 years. Dominica is the quickest you can potentially sell after just 3 years.
3 years, okay. That's fast. But obviously, these 5 islands aren't identical. For someone investing, what are some key differences? Maybe we could look at a couple.
Absolutely. Good idea. Let's take St. Kitts and Nevis. It's actually famous for having the world's first CBI program, started way back in 1984. There, the investment options start a bit higher, around $325,000 for a share in an approved property, or maybe $600,000 plus for a private home.
Okay.
What's unique about St. Kitts is you can buy property just for your own personal use long term. Most other CBI programs require you to rent it out.
Ah, interesting distinction.
Yeah. And it tends to have slightly higher rental yields, maybe 4 to 5%. Plus, citizenship there is inheritable, and they offer free health care for kids under 18 and seniors over 62. It's pretty unique.
And what about Dominica? You mentioned it was affordable.
Right, Dominica. They call it the Pearl of the Caribbean. It really stands out for having one of the most affordable CBI real estate options. Minimum investment there is $200,000. It also tends to have lower rent prices compared to the other CBI countries. You might find a 3-bedroom apartment for around, say, $2,300 a month. And like we said, it has that earliest resale option, just 3 years.
That's a clear difference in cost and timeline. But what if getting that second passport isn't the main driver? Or maybe the budget looks different. Are there other spots in the Caribbean worth considering?
Oh, definitely. It's really important to remember that not every attractive Caribbean market is tied to a CBI program. Think about places like the Bahamas or the Cayman Islands. They're well known for potentially higher rental yields, maybe even up to 8%.
8%, wow.
Yeah, and they are hot spots for luxury property.
Yeah.
Really appealing to high net worth individuals. And this is key, they do not offer citizenship by investment. And the property costs are, significantly higher. You could easily be looking at $3 million or more for some place in the Bahamas. So it's a totally different kind of investment play.
Right. Different goals, different markets. We've certainly covered a lot today, from, the big picture strategic reasons for investing in the Caribbean down to the details of these CBI programs and specific island differences.
It really brings up an important thought, doesn't it? Beyond just the money or the easier travel, getting a second citizenship through property investment, how might that really change things long term? Not just for the investor, but for their family's security down the line, their tax planning, the global opportunities that open up, potentially for generations. It's more than just a passport. It's a strategic asset.
Absolutely. A really fascinating look at a world of global possibility.
You are listening to Passport Talks, a podcast on how to become a true cosmopolitan, how to travel the world without visas, create a safe haven for your family, and access top-notch education and healthcare with a second passport or residency.